You know what's strange? The biggest mistake people make when buying a portable power station has almost nothing to do with choosing the wrong battery. It starts the moment they decide the logo matters more than everything behind it. Because once a brand becomes the automatic recommendation, people stop asking the questions that actually determine whether they'll be happy with their purchase years later. That habit costs far more than spending a few $100s extra. It can leave you with a system that takes longer to recharge from solar than you expected, limits future expansion, or simply delivers less value for every watt-hour you paid to own. That's exactly why we're pulling back the curtain today. This isn't about attacking EcoFlow or Jackery, because both companies earned their reputation. The real goal is exposing the buying framework experienced owners rely on after they stop shopping for brands and start comparing capability. Once your first thought becomes, which company should I buy? Someone else has already taken control of the conversation. Portable power stations have changed dramatically over the last few years. What began as a convenient camping accessory has grown into a serious energy solution for RV owners, van life travelers, homeowners preparing for outages, contractors working on remote job sites, and anyone looking to combine battery storage with portable solar power. That rapid growth created a problem very few people noticed. Most buyers are still judging modern systems with an outdated checklist, comparing logos, repeating influencer recommendations, or clicking whichever product appears first after searching best portable power station. Meanwhile, people who actually depend on these systems every week learn something very different. The brand is only one variable, and in many cases, it isn't even the one that matters most. Both EcoFlow and Jackery deserve credit for helping build this industry. Jackery, founded in 2012, introduced portable power stations to a much wider audience through its Explorer lineup, while the Solar Saga panels strengthened its reputation among campers and outdoor enthusiasts looking for a straightforward backup power solution. EcoFlow arrived later, founded in 2017, and took a completely different approach. Instead of leading with simplicity, the company built its identity around speed. Its extreme charging technology immediately caught attention because reviewers repeatedly highlighted how quickly EcoFlow units could recharge from standard AC power compared with competing products, and that single advantage became the foundation of the brand's image. Fast charging became the headline. A broad ecosystem followed. Smart app integration became another selling point. Expandable product families completed the picture. It's easy to understand why countless buyers immediately narrow their search to those two companies. The hidden catch is that this is exactly where the conversation quietly drifts away from the specifications that actually determine long-term ownership satisfaction. Think about how most people shop. They'll spend hours debating whether EcoFlow beats Jackery, yet never stop to check which battery chemistry the system uses, how many charging cycles it's rated for, whether the solar input matches the way they'll recharge it, or if the platform can actually grow with their future needs. At that point, the logo has become the product. That's one of the oldest tricks in consumer technology, because once buyers emotionally attach themselves to a brand, comparing specifications suddenly feels optional. Experienced owners don't think that way. Their questions sound almost boring at first, but those questions save thousands of dollars over time. They look at the battery chemistry. They examine the cycle life rating. They compare expansion options. They calculate the inverter output they actually need. Instead of buying the biggest number available, they break down the cost per watt hour. They ask whether today's purchase can still meet tomorrow's energy demands. Notice what's missing from every one of those questions. Not a single one starts with the company's name, because experienced buyers understand something that marketing departments would rather keep in the background. Every major manufacturer has strengths. Every major manufacturer also has compromises. That's exactly why the portable power station market has become much more competitive than many people realize. Today's premium discussion isn't limited to EcoFlow and Jackery anymore. It includes EcoFlow, Jackery, Bluetti, Anker Solix, Goal Zero. Every one of those companies built its reputation by focusing on something different instead of chasing the exact same customer. Goal Zero, founded in 2009, became one of the earliest recognizable names in portable power, and its Yeti lineup earned respect for rugged construction and dependable performance, especially in demanding outdoor environments. Bluetti entered the consumer market later, yet quickly established a reputation for larger battery capacities, stronger expandability, and early adoption of LiFePO4 batteries across much of its product lineup. Anker Solix tells a different story. Anyone familiar with consumer electronics already knows the Anker name, and that experience with charging technology naturally expanded into portable energy systems, where reviewers consistently point to solid build quality, fast charging, competitive pricing, and a polished app experience. Now the comparison becomes far more interesting because you're no longer choosing between logos. You're comparing entirely different engineering priorities. That's the discussion the marketing departments would rather avoid. Every advertisement tries to convince you there's one perfect portable power station. Reality doesn't work that way. One company puts charging speed first, another emphasizes expandability, someone else focuses on ease of use, another competes aggressively on value per watt hour. None of those priorities are automatically better than the others because every one of them serves a different type of buyer, which ultimately means copying someone else's recommendation without understanding why they made that choice is one of the fastest ways to waste money. The real difference becomes impossible to ignore once you look inside the battery itself. For years, portable power stations commonly relied on lithium-ion NMC batteries, which typically offered somewhere around 500 to 800 full charge cycles before noticeable degradation, depending on operating conditions and the manufacturer's design. Eventually, the market shifted. LiFePO4 batteries began replacing NMC across premium products, and despite what the sales brochures claimed, this wasn't just another trendy buzzword. Manufacturers increasingly promoted longer lifespan, greater thermal stability, and much higher advertised cycle life, often around 3,000 to 4,000 or more cycles, before reaching roughly 80% of original capacity, depending on the specific model and testing conditions. That single change completely altered the way experienced buyers calculated value. Instead of asking what a power station costs today, they started calculating what it costs across thousands of charging cycles. And that is exactly when brand loyalty begins losing much of its influence. At that point, the company name matters far less than how the battery performs after years of real use. That's also why experienced buyers often sound like they're speaking a different language. While newcomers compare advertisements, they're comparing watt-hours, inverter output, MPPT performance, solar input limits, expansion options, warranty coverage, and app functionality, because every one of those specifications determines whether the system keeps solving problems years from now or slowly becomes another expensive compromise. Battery capacity is a perfect example. You'll see ratings like 768 watt-hours, 1024 watt-hours, or 2048 watt-hours, but those numbers don't tell you which product wins. They simply tell you how much energy the battery can store, and whether that's enough depends entirely on how you plan to use it. The same logic applies to inverter output. Specifications such as 1000 watts, 1800 watts, or 2400 watts look impressive on a comparison chart, yet the biggest number isn't automatically the smartest purchase. The real question is whether that inverter can reliably power the equipment you actually intend to run. There's another specification many buyers overlook until it causes problems. Surge output determines how much temporary power a station can provide when appliances first switch on. Ignore that figure, and a unit that looked perfect on paper can suddenly struggle with motors, compressors, or other demanding startup loads. Solar charging changes the conversation even more. This is where experienced owners start separating engineering from advertising, because a massive battery doesn't mean much if the system accepts relatively limited solar input for the way you plan to recharge it. Under good conditions, replenishing that stored energy may still take much longer than expected. That's why solar input has become one of the most important comparison points in recent years. It isn't flashy, it rarely appears in oversized lettering across the front of the box. Yet, if your goal is spending extended time away from the grid, few specifications shape everyday ownership more than this one. Expansion is another area where buyers discover huge differences. Some systems accept additional battery packs. Others integrate with smart home panels. Some platforms are designed around whole home backup compatibility. Those capabilities may never matter to someone who only camps a few weekends each year, but for anyone planning to build a larger energy system over time, they can completely change which product delivers the best long-term value. That's the moment the discussion stops revolving around brands. It starts revolving around priorities instead. The reason review publications often reach different conclusions becomes much easier to understand once you recognize that distinction. Outdoor Life's hands-on testing is a great example because instead of declaring one company superior across the board, it recognized different strengths in different products. EcoFlow Delta 2 earned Best Overall. Anker Solix C1000 received Best Solar Generator. Oops! Mega 1 was recognized as Best Value. Goal Zero Yeti 700 earned praise for reliability. Jackery Explorer 1000 Plus stood out for ease of use. Notice what never happened. No single company dominated every category because no manufacturer excels at everything. That's worth remembering whenever someone insists one brand has completely solved portable power. Independent reviewers consistently arrive at much more balanced conclusions. EcoFlow is regularly praised for its charging speed and its broader ecosystem. Jackery continues earning recommendations because of its simple operation and approachable user experience. Bluetti often receives recognition for value, expandability, and stronger solar capabilities across comparable systems. Anker Solix has gained momentum through charging performance, construction quality, competitive pricing, and software. Goal Zero maintains a reputation for rugged reliability, even though reviewers frequently point out that its products can cost more than similarly specified alternatives. Every one of those companies occupies a different position in the market. The mistake begins when buyers assume reputation automatically means the best choice for every situation. That's where value quietly slips away. Paying extra for a premium logo doesn't always mean you're paying for features you'll actually use, and chasing the absolute lowest price doesn't guarantee the best ownership experience either. Experienced buyers avoid both extremes. Instead, they ask one question that changes the entire buying process. Which specifications actually matter for the way I plan to use this system? Everything looks different after that. Fast AC charging may suddenly become your highest priority, or it may barely matter at all. Expandable battery capacity could become essential, or you may never need another battery. App integration might be important because remote monitoring fits your lifestyle. Or maybe physical buttons are all you'll ever want. None of those answers are universally right or wrong. The real mistake is spending money based on someone else's priorities instead of your own. That's exactly why many comparison articles spend less time arguing over brands today and far more time explaining trade-offs. Once you understand those trade-offs, the marketing becomes much easier to see through. One of the biggest trade-offs in the entire portable power industry comes down to something surprisingly simple: speed versus value. Fast charging has become one of the defining characteristics of the premium market. EcoFlow built much of its reputation around that strength, and independent reviewers continue recognizing the company's AC charging performance as one of its biggest advantages. If rapid charging is your top priority, that deserves serious consideration. The hidden catch is that many buyers stop comparing products right there. They assume the feature receiving the most attention must automatically deliver the best value for every customer. Engineering rarely works that way. Every portable power station is the result of countless design decisions, and emphasizing one capability almost always means another area becomes less important depending on the needs of the customer. Experienced buyers evaluate value very differently. Instead of asking which company has the biggest reputation, they ask what they're actually paying for. If another manufacturer offers more watt-hours for the same money, if another platform provides stronger solar input for your intended use, if another ecosystem offers the expansion path you'll probably need later. Those advantages deserve every bit as much attention as fast charging or brand recognition. That's one reason Bluetti has become such a frequent recommendation among experienced owners and comparison reviewers. The company is consistently recognized for value, expandability, larger battery options, and strong solar charging capability. None of that automatically makes Bluetti the perfect choice. It simply proves there are legitimate reasons knowledgeable buyers refuse to treat this market as a two-company race. The same pattern appears with Anker Solix. Reviewers repeatedly highlight its build quality, charging technology, polished app experience, and competitive pricing. That isn't evidence that every Anker Solix product is superior. It's evidence that serious alternatives exist, and ignoring them before comparing specifications usually benefits the marketing department far more than the customer. The biggest lesson hiding inside this industry has nothing to do with batteries or charging speeds. It starts the moment you refuse to let the market eliminate your options before you've even compared them. Jackery proves that point perfectly. Even while facing stronger competition in certain technical categories, it continues earning praise for beginner-friendly operation and an interface that's easy to understand. For someone buying a first portable power station, those advantages can matter far more than squeezing every last specification onto a comparison sheet. Goal Zero tells a similar story from a different direction. Its products are consistently recognized for rugged construction and long-term reliability, while reviewers also point out that buyers often pay more than they would for similarly specified competitors. Those two statements don't contradict each other. They're both true. That's exactly how mature technology markets work. Every manufacturer is making trade-offs. Your job isn't to hunt for the company with zero compromises because that company doesn't exist. Your job is identifying which compromises matter the least for the way you'll actually use your system. Once you start thinking like that, advertisements lose much of their power. The loudest marketing claims stop sounding like reasons to buy. Fast charging becomes another specification. Smart app control becomes another specification. Expandable capacity becomes another specification. UPS functionality becomes another specification. Thousands of battery cycles become another specification. Instead of accepting those claims at face value, you begin asking whether they solve a problem you'll actually have. That's a completely different mindset. It's also the mindset shared by people who consistently avoid expensive buying mistakes. They understand something marketing campaigns almost never say out loud. There is no universally perfect portable power station. There are only products that fit certain priorities better than others. Does that mean you should stop buying EcoFlow? No. Does it mean you should stop buying Jackery? No. What it does mean is that you should stop believing those two names automatically represent the entire portable power market. The industry has become far more competitive than many consumers realize. Bluetti has earned its reputation for value, expandability, and strong solar capabilities. Anker Solix continues building momentum through charging performance, construction quality, competitive pricing, and software. Goal Zero still commands respect for rugged reliability. Independent testing continues reaching the same conclusion again and again. Different products lead different categories because different buyers care about different outcomes. That's why the smartest purchase isn't determined by whichever logo appears most often in YouTube videos, search results, or advertisements. It's determined by whether the specifications actually match the way you'll use the system once it arrives at your door. That perspective separates informed buyers from everyone still shopping for a brand instead of shopping for capability. Because this market is evolving too quickly for blind loyalty to keep paying off. The people who consistently make the best buying decisions aren't chasing the most recognizable logo. They're asking better questions than the marketing departments ever wanted them to ask.